big question. How does learning about civic education help our country? Imagine you're part of a big team playing a game. To win, everyone needs to know the rules, understand their roles, and work together. Civic education is like the game's instruction manual. It helps us understand how our country works, what we can do to make it better, and why it's important to be active citizens. Civic education teaches us about our rights and responsibilities as members of a country. It helps us understand how democracy works, how government systems are organized, and why our involvement is crucial. Just like knowing the rules of a game helps us play better, understanding civic education helps us contribute positively to our country. Civic education is more than just learning facts about our government. It's about understanding how we, as individuals, fit into the larger picture of our country. Here's how studying civic education benefits us and our nation. Democracy is like a giant, shared decision-making game where everyone has a say. In a democracy, people vote to choose their leaders and make decisions that affect everyone. Civic education teaches us how this process works, why it's important, and how we can be part of it. Think of the government as a big machine with many parts like the engine, wheels, and gears. Each part has a specific role to play. Civic education helps us understand these roles, such as the president, the parliament, and the courts, and how they work together to keep the machine running smoothly. Civic education isn't just about learning facts. It's also about developing skills that help us become active and responsible citizens. Skills like cooperation, problem-solving, and critical thinking are essential. These skills help us work well with others, solve community problems, and think carefully about decisions that affect everyone. In the town of Brightsville, two friends, Harder and Ibrahim, were very curious about how their town worked. They loved learning about their community and wanted to make a difference. One day, their teacher introduced them to civic education, explaining how it helps people understand and improve their country. Harder and Ibrahim decided to put their new knowledge to use. They learned that in their democratic country, everyone had a voice, and voting was one of the ways they could be involved. They saw how understanding their local government's roles, like the mayor, council members, and community volunteers, helped them see who to approach when they wanted to make a change. One day, they noticed that their local playground had become very run down. They remembered that civic education taught them about the importance of working together and how to address community problems. They decided to organize a community meeting to discuss the issue. Harder and Ibrahim invited their neighbors to the meeting and explained how the playground was a shared space that everyone used. They talked about how the playground's condition affected not just them, but all the children in the neighborhood. With their understanding of civic education, they suggested forming a committee to clean and repair the playground. The community members were inspired by Harder and Ibrahim's initiative. They realized that understanding how their local government worked and knowing how to be active citizens empowered them to take action. They worked together, and soon, the playground was clean and vibrant again. Just like Harder and Ibrahim learned, voting is a way for citizens to have a say in how their country is run. Understanding the voting process helps people make informed choices about who will represent them and make decisions for their community. Knowing what different government officials do, like the president who leads the country or the local council members who address community issues, helps us know who to approach when we need help or want to suggest improvements. It forms laws and procedures, along with examining the administration and its resolutions. The chief function of the legislature is to enact laws. It is the basis for the functioning of the other two organs, the executive and the judiciary. It is also sometimes accorded the first place among the three organs, because until and unless laws are enacted, there can be no implementation and application of laws. It comprised of the president or governor, council of ministers at union or state level, along with the administration which executes and enforces laws made by the legislature. The executive is the organ that implements the laws enacted by the legislature and enforces the will of the state. It is the administrative head of the government. Ministers, including the prime/chief ministers and president/governors, form part of the executive. The Supreme Court, SC, at the top level to the community courts at the bottom. They interpret the laws made. The judiciary is that branch of the government that interprets the law, settles disputes, and administers justice to all citizens. The judiciary is considered the watchdog of democracy and also the guardian of the Constitution. It comprises the Supreme Court, the high courts, district, and other subordinate courts. Being an active citizen means participating in community activities, volunteering, and helping solve problems. Harder and Ibrahim's project shows how active citizenship can lead to positive changes in the community. When Harder and Ibrahim saw the playground problem, they used their problem-solving skills to come up with a plan and get others involved. Civic education helps develop these skills, enabling us to address issues in our own communities. Working together with others, as Harder and Ibrahim did with their neighbors, is crucial for making changes. Civic education teaches us how cooperation can lead to successful community projects and a more connected society. Ada and Ibrahim saw the need for a better playground. Civic education helps us identify problems in our communities and think about how to address them. They planned a community meeting and gathered ideas to improve the playground. Learning how to plan and organize is a key skill in solving community issues. By involving their neighbors, Ada and Ibrahim showed how engaging others can help in achieving goals. Civic education teaches us the importance of collaboration in problem solving. After the playground was fixed, they saw the positive effects of their efforts. Evaluating the impact of our actions helps us understand what works and what can be improved. In this chapter, we learned how civic education helps us understand and participate in our democracy. It teaches us about government systems, the importance of active citizenship, and how to develop skills like cooperation and problem solving. By learning about civic education, we can become better citizens and contribute positively to our country. Studying civic education helps our country by teaching us how democracy works, how to understand government systems, and how to be active and responsible citizens. This knowledge empowers us to make positive changes in our communities and be involved in our country's development. Think about how knowing more about civic education might help you in your daily life. What are some ways you can be an active citizen and contribute to your community? How can understanding government systems and working together with others make a difference?